Solar energy seems like old news, right? But here's something wild. In a single hour, the sun hits Earth with more energy than humanity uses in an entire year. And we're only capturing a tiny fraction of it.
That's mind-blowing when you put it in perspective. I just saw a report showing solar installations increased 43% last year alone, but we're still barely scratching the surface of its potential.
Welcome to another episode of Technically You, where we shed light on all things technology. Today, we're diving into the world of solar energy. What is it? How does it work? Is it really the way of the future? Stick around, and we'll uncover the truth.
This is going to be a great session.
Well, let's start by breaking this down for everyone. The whole process of converting sunlight to electricity is pretty fascinating. It's like turning sunshine into Netflix power.
Hmm, that's an interesting way to put it, but I'll accept it. The technology behind it is actually pretty elegant. These photovoltaic cells are made of silicon layers that create an electric field.
Right. And when sunlight hits these cells, it knocks electrons loose and creates an electric current. But here's what really gets me excited. The latest panels are reaching efficiency rates of over 25%, which was unthinkable just a decade ago.
Speaking of efficiency, the storage technology has made huge leaps too. Modern batteries can now power a home for several days, not just overnight.
Oh, you know what's really cool? I just learned about this thing called net metering. Apparently, some homeowners are making $200 to $300 per month selling excess power back to utility companies. It's like having a mini power plant on your roof.
That's exactly why we're seeing such a boom in residential solar. The return on investment is getting better every year.
Let's talk about these different types of panels, though. I mean, there's a reason some look like shiny black glass, and others have that speckled blue appearance, right?
Well, those differences reflect the three main types. Monocrystalline panels with 20 to 23% efficiency are the most efficient and durable, but also the most expensive. Polycrystalline panels are slightly less efficient, but more affordable with 15 to 17% efficiency. Finally, thin film panels are lightweight and flexible, making them ideal for unconventional installations, though they are less efficient overall at 10 to 12% efficiency.
You know what's fascinating? The price of solar panels has dropped by 90% since 2010. That's like if a $30,000 car suddenly costs just $3,000.
Which brings me to my next question. How is solar energy stored for later use?
As we mentioned earlier, storage technology has made some huge leaps. Homeowners and businesses use solar batteries, like Tesla's Powerwall, LG Chem, and Sonnen, to store excess energy. This stored energy can be used when the sun isn't shining, like at night or during cloudy days. Large-scale solar farms also integrate battery storage solutions to stabilize energy distribution.
And the technology keeps improving. Have you heard about the new perovskite cells they're developing?
Oh yeah, those could be a game changer. They're potentially cheaper to produce and could reach efficiency rates of up to 30%. But let's talk about scale for a minute. I mean, residential is one thing, but commercial installations are on a whole different level.
The numbers are staggering. While a typical home might need 20 to 24 panels, some commercial solar farms use millions of panels and can power entire cities.
Speaking of scale, I saw that China just built a solar farm that's visible from space. It's providing power to over 2.5 million homes. But what about the average homeowner? What kind of investment are we talking about?
The typical system runs between $15,000 to $25,000, but with federal tax credits covering 30% and state incentives, the actual cost can be much lower.
And the payback period is getting shorter too, right? I mean, most systems now pay for themselves in what, 5 to 7 years?
That's right, and they're guaranteed to last 25 to 30 years. It's basically like prepaying your electricity bill at a massive discount.
But we should talk about some challenges too. I mean, the recycling issue is significant. We're looking at millions of panels reaching end of life in the next decade. What's being done about that?
The industry is actually making great strides there. New recycling processes can recover 95% of materials from old panels, and some manufacturers are using recycled materials in new panels.
Looking ahead, what really excites me is the integration of AI and solar technology. Smart systems that can predict weather patterns and adjust energy storage accordingly. That's pretty incredible.
And don't forget about those space-based solar power stations being developed. They could potentially beam energy back to Earth 24/7, completely changing the game.
You know what this all comes down to? We're not just talking about a new way to generate electricity. We're talking about democratizing energy production. It's putting power, literally, sao in people's hands.
That's such an important point. We're moving from an energy consumer society to an energy prosumer society, where everyone can participate in the power generation process.
Well, I think we've illuminated quite a few aspects of solar energy today. The future is definitely looking bright. And this time, that's not just a figure of speech.
And remember, every solar panel installed is another step toward energy independence and a more sustainable future.
That's it for today. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that subscribe button and follow us for more deep dives into cutting edge technology. And as always, stay informed and stay curious.
We'll see you next time.